So we're gonna start straight away with a bolster today and with the blocks. So take the bolster and put the bolster in the middle of the mat. Take the blocks, and since your bolster is not too soft Hilda, you can put one block just behind the bolster toward the end of the bolster, just to give a bit of support in the back part of the bolster. Then sit over the bolster. Actually, if you want to, you can also put the second block under just to give the straightness of the bolster. Lay down on the mat. Knees bent, feet wide, as wide as the mat, roughly. The end of the bolster is in between the shoulder blades, so the shoulders are free to go down. To allow the shoulders to move down toward the ground. If you didn't use the second block, you can put the block behind your head. If this opening is a little bit too intense for you, if it's not that intense, you can also do it without any props. The head will touch down on the ground. The shoulders won't touch the ground. And the bolster will push your sternum up. Put your arms in cactus pose if it's kind of comfortable for you. Otherwise, if it's too intense, you can straighten your arms to the side. Or if it's still too intense, you can move your arms a little bit lower toward the hips. Once that you found your comfortable position, kind of comfortable position with your arms, close your eyes, push the back of the head away from the shoulders, and allow your body to soften. Allow your body to surrender and let go. Relax your forehead, your eyebrows, and the skin between the eyebrows. Relax your eyes and let them sink deeper into the skull. Relax the skin of your face, unclench your jaw, and let your lips open slightly. Relax your throat, your neck and shoulders, arms, forearms and hands. Relax your back, the muscles of your back and your spine, vertebra per vertebra. Observe the effect of the bolster on your spine, on your chest. Relax your lumbar spine, your belly. Relax your hips, groins. Relax your legs, knees, ankles and feet. Bring your attention into your breathing cycle and observe every aspect of your breath. Which part of your body moves the most, chest or belly? If both moves, which one moves first? Observe without changing anything. Observe simply to know yourself. Observe the length of your breathing cycle. Inhalation and exhalation have the same length, or one of them is naturally longer. Observe the small pauses between inhalation and exhalation, and between exhalation and inhalation. Small moments where everything stops, even your breath. Become aware of the full phases of your breathing cycle. Inhalation, pause, exhalation, pause. And there too, observe. Is one of the two poses longer? Observe also that your throat remain relaxed and open, even during the pauses. 3 more observing breaths. At the end of the third, take control and create a long and deep breath. Allow your body to expand with every inhalation. Allow your body to contract with every exhalation. Keep a long and deep breath. Observe your body changing through inhalation and exhalation. Observe the tensions that you may experience, especially around your spine, neck, shoulders, and chest. Observe how your body shapes around your bolster. Become aware of the position of your body. Allow your body to stretch your spine. From your next breath, take control and create an abdominal breath. Just for 3 times. Focus on your belly moving with every breath. When you inhale, the navel move up. When you exhale, move down to the spine. Allow your belly to expand. Allow your navel to move down when you exhale. At the end of the third breath, move to a thoracic breath, where your belly doesn't move anymore, and it's just the upper part of your body expanding. It's the chest expanding, the rib cage. So push the ribs out when you inhale, and move it closer together when you exhale. Take control of your body. Taking control of the muscles of your rib cage. But keep your breath soft and easy. Allow your chest to expand with every breath. When you exhale, push gently with your spine against the bolster in order to deepen the stretch of your spine. 3 more breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, go back to a normal breath, not controlled. Keep on pushing the back of the head away from the shoulders. Now I want you to put your arms straight to the side. Keeping the arms spread out to the side. Walk back with your feet and lift your legs. The arms to the side will help you to have a good stability. Stay there 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, bend your knees. Put your feet down. Really gently roll on your right side. And stay on your right side for a few breaths. Take your time to relax the spine. We're not in a hurry. When you feel ready, push with the left hand and sit up. Okay, good stretch. Now, I wanted to put the bolster and in case also the block underneath. And this position. I wanted to keep the shoulder blades right over the bolster. Interlace the hands behind your head. Knees bent. Inhale. When you exhale, push with the feet against the ground. Lift your hips. Tag the tailbone under. And allow the head and the hands to go down toward the ground. If you're touching the ground, allow the elbows to move wide open to the side. Stay there 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, bring the 2 elbows close to each other and move the elbows a little bit closer. So move the elbows toward the knees. Still keeping the hips lifted. Just to stretch a little bit also your neck. Stay there, don't move. Don't allow your hips to go down. And now slowly lower your head and hands again. If you're touching the ground, open the elbows to the side. Keep the hips lifted and tilted back. Breathe deeply on your chest, 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, bring the 2 elbows close to each other again, like you want to wrap your head on your forearm. Lift your head, elbows toward the knees, and now lower your hips. Put your hands down, push, lift the sternum, and sit in a cross-legged position. Create circles with the old spine, but do it gently, just softly. Turn also on the other side. Okay. Right hand just outside of your left knee. Get a grip. Twist your torso gently to the left. Lift the sternum. Lift the left arm up. And looking up to the sky, allow the left hand to go to the left, to the right, stretching the whole left side of your torso. Push with your left knee down to deepen the stretch and to be stable. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, come back to center. Change the crossing of your legs. Left hand side of your right knee. Take a good grip. Twist gently your torso to the right. Lift the sternum. Shoulder blades down. Lift your right arm up. Allow the right hand to start moving toward the left side. Look up. Stretch the right side of your torso and push the right knee down to be more stable. 3 breaths. And come back to center. Create circles with your hips and upper spine. Both sides. Now move the bolster away and take the 2 blocks. Sit on your heels on the back of the mat. Take the bolster and you put the bolster in the 2nd position, in the middle position. Good, perfect. Now walk forward with your blocks. Put your wrist right over the block. Move the arms back into the shoulder socket. Keep the arms straight and active. And allow the chest to go down toward the ground. Allow the head to go down toward the ground. So relax your neck. But keep the arms active and straight. Active till the tip of your fingers. Stay there, 3 more breaths. When you inhale, push the sternum forward. When you exhale, let go and push the chest down. At the end of the 3rd breath, push with the wrists against the block. Lift just the head, looking forward. Keep on pushing the chest down. Keep on pushing the sternum forward when you inhale. Push the chest down when you exhale. If just looking forward gives you a lot of tension on the neck, allow the head to drop down again. Otherwise, keep it there for 3 more breaths. Breathe as much as you can on your chest, visualizing the expansion of your chest with every breath. At the end of the 3rd breath, push with the wrist against the block to lift your shoulders in an active way. Just push a little bit and then go down again. Push the chest down. Allow the head to drop down. Now start pushing against the block with your wrist again. Lift your head, lift your shoulders just a tiny bit. Just fortify your arms. And one more time, relax, go down.
Inhale deeply. With the exhalation, start pushing with your wrists against the block. Lift your head and shoulders just a tiny bit. Still pushing actively with your wrists against the blocks to fortify your shoulders and arms. Okay, now relax. Put your hands down. Walk back with your hands. Keep your arms straight and the hands next to the shoulders. It seems like really simple. the pushing with the wrists against the blocks, but if done properly, it will really fortify your arms and shoulders. Now create circles again with the old spine, both on one side. And on the other side. Okay, now move the two knees together. Lift your hips, tuck your toes under. Tuck your toes under, okay. Round your spine, push with the hands against the ground. Look at your belly, stay there. Or rounding your spine. And relax. Okay. Now round your spine again to your maximum. There, allow the head to drop down toward the ground. Then move the head quite close to the knees. It's just the top of your head touching the ground. Now, grab with your hands the outer side of your feet. Once that you have this hold, this grip, push the hips forward in order to round your spine even deeper. But keep the weight on the top of the head quite light. So push with your feet against the hands to lighten the pressure of the top of the head against the ground. Stay there and relax. Child pose, Balasana. Find a version that is comfortable for you. It can be with your knees together or wide. It can be with the arms back or forward. It's up to you to find your version. Stay there. Let go. Last moments. Gently come back up. And now we're going to prepare for another touch. The idea is to open your chest a little bit more, especially around the sternum. Because around the sternum, there are several, well, a few really important acupuncture points that you know pretty well. That can also help not really boosting your immune system. Your immune system doesn't need to be boosted, but it has to be supported. So we want to just support the immune system by freeing this area from tensions, and hopefully it will be better. So we're going to use the two blocks. And maybe take also a folded blanket. I say maybe because it's not needed
but it just depends on the shape of your spine. It can be beneficial to have a folded blanket. So first block in the middle position, the second position. Second block in a sort of T-shape but open between the two blocks. In the first, actually, you know what? No, we're not going to use the second block. We're going to use the second block in case you will need to support the head. So you won't need the full blanket. So we're going to use just the first block in the second position. It will be a little bit more physical, a little bit more challenging, but you can do it. So I wanted to lay down over the blocks. And like we did with the bolster, I wanted to have the end of the block in between the shoulder blades. So it's not in a comfortable position. Keep your knees bent and the hips lifted. Imagine that I wanted to use the blocks under your buttocks. So keep it kind of high. Interlace the hands behind your head and gently lower your head. So you're gonna feel quite firmly the pressure of the block against the spine. So it is not comfortable at all. If you are open enough, you won't need the second block. Otherwise, take the second block and put it just behind your head. Keep the arms in cactus pose. It may be down toward the ground, that is touching the ground, or hovering over the ground. It's not a problem. Both versions will work. Keep the hips lifted a little bit more. Okay, not too much, but imagine that you want to have the hips in line with the block. Also, guys, if you lower your hips, you're gonna feel the edge of the block pushing against your lumbar spine. You want to avoid that. You kind of won't feel the block toward the lumbar spine. I want you to focus on feeling, but this is not that hard to feel it, the block between the shoulder blades. Stay there. Interlace the hands behind your head, lift your head, lower your hips, put your elbows down and lift your body up. It is intense, I know. It can be intense, by the way. We're gonna do it another time in a slightly different way. So we're still gonna use, actually now also if you don't need it, you're gonna use the second block to support the head, because I wanted to focus a little bit more on stretching this area. So the starting position is exactly the same. Actually, if you have, you can use the bolster or another block to support your buttocks, just to create a kind of easier version, but you will see that it's gonna be intense anyway. And just like we just did, I wanted to put your spine over the block with the end of the block in between the shoulder blades. The shoulders move down. Put your head over the second block. The bolster or the third block can help you support your buttocks. If you don't have it, you can just keep your buttocks lifted. Now, keeping the forearm
parallel, like in cactus pose, I want you to move the 2 elbows closer to the chest. Still keeping it as low as you can, as close to the ground that you can. Keep the 2 elbows parallel to each other, and just feel that if you can keep your forearm parallel to each other and move the elbows closer to the chest, you're gonna stretch a lot the front part of your shoulders, freeing that area. Move the elbows a little bit closer to the chest, Hilda. Still keeping the elbows parallel to each other. Elbows close to the chest, but forearm parallel to each other. And now go back to the cactus pose. Now, I'm gonna do almost the same activity, but I want you to keep the elbows not touching the ground, but just at 1 centimeter from the ground. So it will be an active pose. Keeping the elbows and forearm at 1 centimeter from the floor. I want you to keep the forearm parallel to each other, but I want you to move the elbows closer and closer to the chest. So the elbows won't be at 90 degrees anymore. Keep the elbows as much as you can close to the chest. Still keeping the forearm parallel to each other in order to stretch the front part of your shoulders. And then move back in cactus pose. Stay there. And gently come out of this torture. Seat in a cross-legged position. Really slowly, take your time. Really slowly. Create circles with your own spine, both on one side. And on the other side. Okay, now take the 2 blocks and put it on the 3rd position, so in the higher position. Seat on the back of the mat with your knees wide. Big toes touching. Put your hands down on the ground between the knees and the blocks. Tilt your hip forward. Move the shoulders away from the ears. And keeping this movement, straighten your arms right over the blocks. Put the forearm over the blocks, but push the arms back into the shoulder socket. Push with the forearm against the blocks. Palms down. Palms down. Yeah. So I want you to push with the forearm against the block, and at the same time, push the sternum forward. And the shoulders back. 3 breaths. The end of the 3rd breath, come back up. Now I want you to move the blocks closer to your body, because I want you to put now your elbows, and actually more than the elbow, the back part
of your upper arm over the block. Forearm vertical, head in between the blocks. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Push the sternum forward and stay there. Close your eyes and observe which part of your body is stretching, which part is active, which part is passive and stretching. Become aware of every part of your body. Still keep in this position. Really slowly, move both hands toward the neck. Keep the arms interlaced. Now move the hands toward the neck. Push with your elbows forward and move the shoulders back. Allow your neck to relax. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, really slowly take your time. Come back up. Put your hands down on the ground and again, create circles and do it a little bit wider than before, but do it slowly. Wider but slower. Next moments. Okay. Now, we're gonna use lovely asana, which is a quite intense one if done properly, to just boost your energies. And since it's quite challenging if done properly, we're gonna use the two blocks to create an easier version of this asana. This asana is Chaturanga Dandasana, which is a lovely pose, but it's not a relaxing one. So I wanted to use the blocks to support your shoulders, because the idea is to have the forearm just parallel to each other and vertical. And then you bend your elbows and you keep the shoulders forward. So it is a challenging pose for your arms. So we're gonna use the blocks to support us. So I wanted to put the blocks in this position. The arm will be in this position. So with your elbows at 90 degrees, it can be intense for the wrists. We cannot use other props, because otherwise if you put a folded blanket under the hands, you won't have a lot of stability. And I want you to have stability anyway. Maybe if it's a little bit too challenging for your elbows, just stay for 1 breath and then come back up and come back down. So you can put the blocks either in this position, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can put it in this position, still on the front of your shoulders. It's up to you to find your comfortable position for the prop. Start in a tabletop position
bend your elbows. Once that you have the support on your shoulders, put your shoulders a little bit forward. It's not just on the edge, have to be really over the block. Also, if you put it like that, in this position, I wanted to have the whole shoulder covered, not just a tiny bit, but completely. Even forward, even more. Have to be really supported. Okay. So hands down, keep the elbows close to each other to keep the forearm parallel to each other and vertical. Once you have your supported position for the shoulders, walk back with your hand, with your feet, tuck your toes under, belly in, stretching your arms, stretching your legs for chaturanga. Look a little bit forward compared to your eyes, not too much. Not too much. I don't want you to stretch your neck. Just a tiny bit forward. Push with the elbows against the block. Stay there. And back to Balasana, back to the child pose. Find the version that is more comfortable for you. Close your eyes and relax. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, lift your torso. Put your left hand in the middle of the mat, not too far from your knees. Push the left shoulder to the right and right shoulder to the left. Straighten your right arm with the palm of the hand down. Push the small finger to the left and look back. Lift the sternum, shoulder blades down. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd, change side. The right hand in the middle of the mat. Move the right shoulder to the left. Left shoulder to the right. Lift the sternum. Straighten your left arm parallel to the ground. Push the small finger to the right. Look back. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd, come back to center. Lift the sternum a little bit more. Okay, back down. Now, keep your knees bent roughly at 90 degrees. Put your right hand behind your buttocks, already twisting your torso. Keep the hand aligned with the coccyx, but with the fingers pointing back. Lift the sternum. Keep the knees a little bit apart and put your feet down a little bit forward. So the knees are roughly at 90 degrees. So it's not that, but it's more like that. Yes, that's beautiful. Lift the sternum. Tilt your hip forward. Yeah, perfect. Twist your torso to the right. Straighten your left arm and push with the left arm against the right knee. At the same time, push with the right knee out and look behind you. 3 breaths. Lift the sternum.
the end of the third breath, change side. So put your left hand aligned with the coccyx, the back, with the fingers pointing back. No, on the other side. It's not with the hands toward, yes, like that. Because when you do so, just feel your shoulder. If you have your hand, I'm going to show you with your right. If you have your hand pointing toward your buttocks, your shoulders will close. If you roll the arms outward to have the fingers pointing back, your shoulders open. So keep it back. Leave the sternum, tilt your hip forward, straighten your right arm and put it just outside of your left knee. Push with your arm against the knee and push with the knee out. Twist, look behind you, 3 breaths. Leave the sternum. At the end of the third, come back to center. And enter Baddha Konasana. So the base of the feet touching and the knees moving to the side. Interlace the hands and grab the front of your feet. Round your spine and allow your spine to relax. Don't use the muscles, just use the gravity. Even if the feelings can be intense, it won't be the end of the world. So stay there for 3 more breaths. No matter how deep you are going, at the end of the third, come back up. Lift your sternum. Move your feet away from the pubis. Put your hands right in front of your knees. Tilt your hip forward. Arch your spine. Push the sternum forward and the shoulders back. And look up. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, relax. Put both hands behind your buttocks with your fingers pointing back. Okay, good. Now, bend your elbows just a tiny bit. Tilt your hip forward and push the chest forward. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, relax. Okay, now, lift your right knee, put your feet firmly on the ground, slide the left leg under the right one, and walk as much as you can with your left feet toward the right hip, just outside of the right hip, not under. And walk back with your right feet, keeping the base of the feet touching the ground firmly. Yes, exactly. So keep on pushing the inner side of your right feet down. Lift the sternum, shoulder blades down, twist to the right. Use your left elbow to push against the right knee. For the arm, lift the sternum, shoulder blades down. Put your right hand aligned with the coccyx with a soft touch of the ground. Roll the right arm outward, bend your elbow just a tiny bit and look behind you. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, come back to center. and change side. So put your left feet on the ground, slide the right leg under the left one. Walk as much as you can back with your right feet toward the left hip, but keep it outside of the hip, not under. Then put your left feet firmly on the ground outside of your right thigh, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Push with the inner left feet down. When you push with the inner side, you will activate some muscles on your left hip. Lift the sternum, shoulder blades down, twist to the left. Use your arm to push against the left knee. Put your left hand aligned with the coccyx. Twist. Keep the left elbow bent and look behind you. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, come back to center. Padasana again, but with your feet far away from your pubis. In this position, round your spine. The 2 arms are in between the legs. Allow the head to drop down, close your eyes and stay there. 5 breaths. At the end of the fifth breath, slowly come back up. Straighten your legs for Dandasana. Lift the sternum, shoulder blades down. Tilt your hip forward, keeping the spine straight. Close your eyes. I want you to feel your body. I want you to feel your spine straight. Push with your thighs down on the ground. But keep your feet a little bit more relaxed than usual. So focus more on the legs, but less on your feet. Now, still with your eyes closed, still listening to the messages of your body, round your spine and allow your body to relax. Allow your head to drop down and stay there. Don't use your muscles now. Just use the gravity. Relax your forehead, your eyebrows, and the skin between the eyebrows. Relax your eyes and let them sink deeper into the skull. Relax the skin of your face and clench your jaw and let your lips open slightly. Relax your throat, your neck and shoulders, arms, forearms and hands. Relax your back, the muscles of your back and your spine, vertebra per vertebra. Relax your belly and the whole abdominal area. Last moments. Really slowly come back up. Bend your knees. and lay down on the mat. We're approaching Shavasana, so if you need to, just take everything you will need in a few moments. Just put all your props needed for Shavasana close to the mat. Now put your arms in cactus pose. So with your forearm parallel to each other and the elbows aligned with the shoulders. Lift both knees and move the knees toward the chest without using the arms. Okay. Now roll completely to the right. The right leg is down on the ground, the left one is over the right one. Turn your head to the left. The left arm can touch the ground or not. It's not a problem. Close your eyes and count 3 big breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, come back to center. If you can, still with your eyes closed, and roll completely to the left. So the left leg is down on the ground. The right one is just over. Turn your head to the right and stay there. Just relax. Let go. Come back to center. Grab your knees and roll on your right and left side. But if this movement is a little bit too intense for you, you can put your hands right over your knees and keeping the knees and feet together. You can create circles. Still do a sort of massage to your lumbar spine. If you're doing the circles, remember to do it on both sides. Last moments. And now you can enter Shavasana. At the end of Shavasana, I'm going to chant mantra. And at the end of the mantra, I'm going to guide you out of the pose. Till that moment, just relax.
Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonat Prachodayat Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonat Prachodayat Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonat Prachodayat. Slowly, start moving your toes and fingers. Bring back the awareness into your body. Inhale deeply and exhale fully with your mouth. Release all tensions. One more time. Bend your knees and roll on your right side. Stay on your right side for a brief moment before sitting comfortably for the chant of 3 Om. Keep your spine straight yet relaxed. Hands in Anahata Mudra, Chin Mudra, whichever you want. Lift the sternum, shoulder blades down, eyes closed, face relaxed. Inhale deeply. Put your hands in prayer position in front of the chest. Open your eyes. Namaste.